Okay, Coach is here. We'll go ahead and get started in just a moment. People have lined up. We'll start with Coach's opening comment, then start taking questions. Thanks.
Well, a lot of credit to Ohio State. They came in and smacked us in the mouth, and I'm getting really frustrated with really poor, lack of emotional, non-competitive starts. I think that's you can't come out of a locker room and you can't come out of a pregame huddle and start and be down, 9-2. We fought back. We tied it at 15. And then we got away from doing what we had success with. And, the game's not overly complicated. When you hope that you fall in love with something you like and you keep doing it. But I thought we had one good defensive possession the first half for a team that's we're leading the league defensively in DER. I think we gave up 7 threes at half. That's unacceptable. That is totally unacceptable. Really proud of Adam Miller tonight. Really proud of Jacob Grandison, and thought those guys did a great job. I thought we fought. We have to quit riding the emotional roller coaster that is this team right now, and it's frustrating. I wish I had the exact answer. We're going to have some very tough meetings. We got to get this figured out, and we're excellent. We're one of the best teams in the country when we play, and when we don't, it's time to put a stop to the don'ts, and we got to do that.
Okay, we'll go start with Joey Wagner, Derek Piper on deck, Gavin Good in the hole. Go ahead, Joey.
Brad, the seeming, lack of defensive intensity in the first half. The second half, it looked like it was there, and you guys were getting those kills and those stops. Is there anything that you can come close to pointing your finger to and identifying these defensive lapses?
Lack of competitive spirit. I wish I had that answer, Joey. That's what I'm searching for. And you can't have guys not show up and not be assignment sound and not be dialed in mentally. And right now we have that. And it is we knew they crashed the boards. They're number one in the league and rebounding. We said we worked for 3 days on just hitting and making contact with guys. I think we're down 9 at half, maybe on the glass, something like that. But the first possession of the game is an offensive rebound. So that'll tell you where our focus is, and we've got to put 5 guys on the floor who will be competitive, not ride the emotional waves of good and bad, but just play.
Is any bit of that frustration because you've got a couple seniors and a junior and a sophomore, and it's an experienced team by and large out there versus a couple of years ago when it was freshmen and sophomores?
Yeah, welcome to my world every day. That's what's really frustrating is I see the potential, I see the upside, and how we haven't taken that next step is very frustrating. And you can have it into the game like we had today, or you can have a second half like you had against Northwestern, and then you can have a game like you did against Maryland, and spurts throughout the games like we've had in those last 3. And it is really getting frustrating to figure the right chemistry out, but we'll get it done. We'll get that done.
Thank you.
Okay. Derek Piper, you're up. Gavin Good on deck. Jeremy in the hole. Go ahead.
Coach, how much did that first half surprise you after the Maryland loss, and you had all week to chew on that? You mentioned some sleepless nights for yourself. Just how much did that maybe surprise you?
I'm at a loss. I can't. I wish I could say I could pinpoint that. I mean, we were. We can't just keep taking body blows, and we can't just keep coming out flat and lifeless and emotionless and with no spirit. I mean, it's almost a. I don't know what the right word is. It's a blasé. Just start and we can't do that, and we got to be able to maintain. And when things go bad, you've got to maintain. And I mean, it's You got to stay positive. Trent Frazier's in the huddle. He's being positive. He's being upbeat. I mean, that sucker's out there denying Dwayne Washington all over the place. And it's not everybody, but man, my frustration level is high, Derek.
Is this something you've noticed in practice? Has this been an issue there as well?
Yes. We finish practices about like a high school JV team. And our emotional concentration and ability, doesn't matter if we go an hour and a half, it doesn't matter if we go 3 hours. Our ability I've structured practices every way possible. And until we can learn to practice the right way, we have moments, again, we're great in practice. And then this week for 3 straight days, we ended practice in horrible fashion. And, it doesn't matter. You put them on the line and run them. You can chew them out. You can compliment them. You can rally them. We've got to get this figured out.
Thank you.
Okay, Gavin, you're up. Jeremy Warner on deck.
Brad, a couple of games now, Io's gotten a slow start too in the first half and really kind of come on in the second half. Have you noticed that with him, and do you think that's part of the team's problem as well?
I mean, I thought Io did a great job of getting the ball where he needed it to. He missed a couple maybe that he normally makes, but Io's the top of everybody's scouting report. Everybody's scheming him. He's doing a great job of playing out of that one way or another. He's got the ball in his hands a lot. And it just can't be him. Everybody's got to make a shot or do their part. And, we got stagnant when the ball went to the post. We didn't cut. We got things we do. And, one of the things that we've really worked hard on this week was just ball movement and player movement. And you got to have pace with your player movement. We throw the ball into the post. We just stand there. And granted, Kofi's got 3 guys around him. We knew that was going to happen. He had a couple sloppy turnovers because he brought it down, but guys got to make plays off those. And so yeah, it's frustrating.
And then EJ Liddell with a career high today. I know he had a pretty good game in Columbus last time you guys played. What are the things that you guys allowed him to do? Did you give him a little bit too much space, or what did you see out there?
Yeah, he's a good player. He's a really good player. And, he hasn't been an overly productive 3-point shooter coming into this game. And, today he jumps up and makes 4. I think he and Young had 6 between them. And you put your hand down against a good player and don't put your hand up and don't challenge him, he's going to bust your tail. And EJ was phenomenal today. I mean, he was terrific for them.
And then I got to ask about what happened at the end of the game with the refs. Obviously, you were frustrated, but what happened there?
Everybody on our bench was claiming that he stepped out of bounds. I still haven't looked at it yet, and I don't know if it was or wasn't. But you don't see a group of guys react like that, and I haven't looked at it. And I'm just, it's a frustrating moment when if he was out, that's missed if it's missed. But right now I'll hold judgment because I haven't looked at it.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Okay, Jeremy, you're up. Scott Ritchie on deck.
Brad, is it fair to say this is a soul-searching moment in your season for the players? What does that look like in your opinion?
Oh, there's going to be a pretty good meeting. There's going to be a lot of things aired that you guys will never know about, but we're going to get some things aired. We're going to get some things aired out, and we're going to get some things figured out. That'll be first thing in the morning.
And then you've had some turnarounds, whether it was last season or at Oklahoma State, where your teams have kind of turned things around. What's the key to that, not only as players, but as a coaching staff to getting it turned around?
I mean, I think our coaching staff is as frustrated as we can be. And we've got to try to figure that out. They've got to start playing, connected together, fighting for each other, celebrating each other, making, being happy when somebody else does something great, playing with a competitive fire. I mean, we get so few opportunities to go out and challenge ourselves against another jersey and to not compete. And I've really felt that here in the last couple of weeks, and but tomorrow we'll air out some things in a team meeting.
Thank you, Brad.
Okay, Scott Ritchie, you're up. Brandon, you're on deck. Good, Scott.
I guess, Brad, before today, this team had been pretty good about not letting one loss become two. Just what's important for maybe two not becoming three against Penn State?
What I said. We'll get it aired out tomorrow.
And then, what was Bo's maybe explanation for that play they reviewed with Adam and maybe the contact there with Suing?
Just informed me that it was not flagrant. Just in that, yeah, that's all he told me was that we ask him anytime there's a contact to the above the shoulders that it be evaluated, and he told me that was not the case.
Okay, Brandon, you're up. Brett Barron's on deck. Go ahead, Brandon.
Hey, Brad. Kofi's taken a step back from the free throw line this year. What do you kind of attribute that to? Is it a confidence thing, or what do you think that is?
Absolutely. Can't step up there and make them for him. Absolutely. He practices them and shoots them a million times. He's got to stand up there and make them.
Brad, did you ask, was the play at the end where he stepped out of bounds, was that reviewable?
Only be reviewed if there's a deflection. The ball has to be deflected, and that's to see who garners possession. So it's a non-reviewable play.
Have you had a time in your career quite like this where you've had as much experience on your team, yet you're still searching late in the year or middle of the year like this?
Every team goes through ups and downs, and we're going through one of those now. And I've had them every place I've been. Unfortunately, we were so good at SFA, we could withstand them with some wins, but we still went through them. And players get in their feelings, players get emotional, and you've got to get them back on the track. It's the hardest part of coaching is getting 15 guys on the same page. And right now we're not, and we're that's showing. And you do that in this league, you're going to lose.
Thanks.
Okay, Matt Stevens, you're up. Alec on deck, and then Shannon Ryan in the hole.
I apologize, but I'm confused about the intentional or the flagrant one. I was under the impression that the intent wasn't really a part of it. Can you kind of explain what goes into an explanation that says that's not a flagrant one, in the sense that I've always interpreted it that it was, if it's contact above the neck, intent really doesn't come into play.
To not be what they consider maybe a basketball related play. And that's one of the things, again, that's probably left up to interpretation. He just said there wasn't contact, so that's all I know.
And it seemed like, from a body language standpoint, I apologize if I'm wrong, but it just seemed like it boiled over for Kofi today. The way that he's being defended, the way he's being fouled, the way he's being guarded. Is that something that can be easily fixed for him, or is that something you have to sit down with him and go, look, this is just going to happen?
He better get used to it. And we've had a lot of conversations about that. He better get used to that. And, then we got to make some shots around him. We got to make people pay, and then he's got to make free throws. And, you make people pay for fouling you. They're just going to keep fouling him until he makes them.
Thanks, Brad.
Hey, Coach, you've spoken a lot about the toughness of Andres Feliz and other players that you've had here, but does this team lack toughness right now, or is that one of your bigger concerns around this team right now?
Yep.
Is that something that it's fixable, or how do you go about fixing that moving forward?
We'll get it fixed.
Okay, thanks, Alex. Alec, Shannon, you're up.
Oh, sorry, can you hear me? I couldn't get my camera on. Well, a little bit off that question. It seems like, like you've said, this is more of a psyche problem and not a talent problem. And I'm just wondering, maybe are there certain teams that have a hard time dealing with high expectations, the unusualness of this season? Do you see any kind of outside influence bearing some weight on them?
I don't think COVID's easy now. COVID's really, really hard. And, what we're asking our guys to do and get up every morning and test at 7:30 and not have friends and not see family. And I haven't not talked to one single person since this started who's not in everyday testing face to face. I just don't. And I know how it makes me feel. I mean, we all long for relationship. These guys aren't having any of them. And, they hang out with themselves all the time. They're in their same dorm together or apartment. And COVID's not easy. There's no doubt about that. And they're together a lot. And but I think it's just the ups and downs of the season. And we're in a lull, and we've got to get out of it.
Anything else, Shannon? Guess not. All right. Thank you, Coach. That's the last question.
Thank you.